Have you ever had a friend that literally hates you for no reason? Because I have. I was friends with this girl in high school. Let's call her Brittany. We were friends for probably a solid 3 or 4 years before I had to block her completely. When we would have sleepovers with a group of friends, this girl would be brutally picking on me the entire time. But when it was just me and her, she was great. She used to call me dumb and say she was smarter than me literally all the time. One time there was a pool party at her house and all the girls were putting on their swimsuits in one room. We were kind of all facing different corners of the wall. And she turned around, told everyone to look at me while I was changing, and started laughing at how skinny I was. Literally was pointing at me and laughing. And this is when I was like 14. Another time when we were like 16 or 17, I was having a sleepover with her and another girl, and she forced me to sleep on the tile floor while they slept on beds with no blankets or pillows, just straight up on the tile. Then she told me at the next sleepover she promised she would give me the bed, and then at the next sleepover the exact same thing happened again, and I slept on the cold hard tile with no blankets or pillows. She also hated the fact that I wanted to be an influencer and that I was actively pursuing that. She would always tell me my career was gonna fail, I was gonna amount to nothing in life, and I was gonna end up homeless on the streets of LA while she was successful. I think part of the reason she was so mad was because her ex-boyfriend confessed his love to me, but I rejected him, and that was also like towards the very beginning of our friendship. Like, I'm telling you, there had to be more. She was also that girl that would immediately start putting me down whenever we were in front of a group of guys, like I was a threat or something, and she was trying to make me look bad in front of them all the time. So eventually senior year rolls around and I decide I am sick of putting up with her BS, and I don't know why I'm doormatting to her all these years and still being her friend when she treats me like that. My light shut off. So I'll tell you how our friendship breakup went. This is when I figured out that this girl is actually crazy. So I just started completely ignoring her and not responding to any of her texts, which worked for a month or two, until one of my other best friends was having a birthday and she wanted all of us to go out to brunch. Obviously Brittany was gonna be there, so I thought, it's fine, there's gonna be like 7 of us there, I can easily just not talk to her, I'll just ignore her. Little did I know what was about to go down in the middle of this restaurant. Go to part 2.
Story time on my first time doing it. So I was freshly 16 years old, and this was all the way back in sophomore year, and COVID was still a thing, but like it's kind of like dying down a little bit. Our school decided if you wanted to do remote the whole entire year, then you can, or you can do both, like half in person and half remote, and I obviously chose half because I haven't seen my man in over like almost a year because of COVID and because of other personal reasons that I will get to in another story time. So our school did like a 30-minute break. Everyone got to do it, and obviously I took that advantage to do you know what. But last night, prior to that whole entire situation, I was texting my man, you know, freaky stuff, saying daddy, and like, so yeah, the day comes, and literally we decided to like walk out of school for a 30-minute break, and then like I think it was like 2 miles on the park that we decided to do it on. Like, bro, we needed to get spayed. Well, I needed to get spayed. He needed to get his fucking baseballs neutered. So yeah, he put on his willy-nilly, like I said, and we went straight to Pound Town, like Sexy Red said. And dude, it was so awkward. Like, doing it the first time, it's so awkward. Like, but bro, it was not in the movies. It was literally so awkward, and I don't like eye contact when doing it. It was so awkward, and I didn't know what to say. I think I said daddy, like daddy harder, like what the flip. And we had such a big fear of me getting pregnant, so literally when he pre-frosting all over it, he literally had to whip out another pair of wrapper and then put it on again. Like, bro did it 3 times. Like, it's really not that deep. And guys, don't worry, kids were not near. Like, we weren't gonna do it near where kids were, like, well, if kids were present, because that's gross and weird. And I remember I was wearing a freaking skirt so it can be easy access. I'm like, bro, do homework. What the fuck was with me? But hey, like Gypsy Rose said, the D was fired. Like, I really thought it was gonna be like this. You make me look like it's magic. Like, I literally thought it was gonna look like freaking the movie 50 Shades of Grey. And after that long, like 30-minute Pound Town session, we literally, there's a McDonald's nearby the park, and we literally went to McDonald's and got Happy Meals because we got the munchies after like the whole Pound Town session. And to this day, I still have like the Beanie Babies that were out that time because I saved it for memories. And don't worry guys, he literally asked for consent. Like, I was ready, he was ready. And yeah guys, we were doing that for literally every time we had in-person classes. Like, what the flip? You could say I was a little freaky girl. So yeah guys, that's literally there wasn't really much to it because it was literally our first time. It was awkward, but at least I did it with the right person. Because we're together, and it's going to be our 5-year this month. Well, not this month, next month. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening to my yap sesh. Hope you follow me. Hope you liked it. I'm sorry if it isn't funny like last one.
If breaking up with your partner breaks your trust in other people, you never were actually in love with your partner. That is attachment.
Okay, here's my simple explanation about that one TikTok where that guy was recording me. When did I notice? Why was he recording me? And so he started out the conversation by asking me if I could make TikToks with him. I really doubt he had come across my TikTok. Wasn't big, isn't big, whatever. But I told him, no, I can't make a TikTok with you because I'm on the clock. That's where I was at work. I'm on the clock and I've gotten in trouble for making TikToks on the clock before. And all of the sudden I see, I was like, He was asking me stupid shit like, what do you think is the best pickup line? And I'm like, none. That's cheesy. And if you think a pickup line is really gonna make or break a first impression with you, you're cuckoo. And then I started trying to sell to him because I'm a salesman. Part of me convinced myself already, like, I'm gonna end up on a video. I'm gonna end up somewhere from this guy's fucking point of view. Something just told me that. I don't think he wanted to rewatch the footage with me. He sounded stupid, so I really doubt that. But he tried to get my information and I declined him. So, decline. I rejected guy, so I'm assuming a video is the next best thing you could have of me, from me. Not from me. The video was not from me. The best thing you could have from me. Of me? English know me first language. So, at the end of the conversation, the guy left. I was in a little bit of shock. I had never caught anybody recording me before. This was definitely a first. It was new to me, obviously. But the TikTok was actually made the next morning. Me getting ready for work. That's why my hair is wet, half wet, whatever. Edges are obviously laid 24/7 unless I'm not going out. So that's besides the point. I'm not even going to get to all those comments in this goddamn video because So the video was made the next morning. Me thinking I'm going to get my few thousand little views that I get. It's funny. I sound dramatic. Damn. I sounded good. Dramatic good.
I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years, and one day when we were drinking wine and watching a movie, akazima. So nikachukua simu yake DCI manenos just to find out he was cheating on me. Akio kitu iliniuma. Kusema ukweli, I paid some people wakujua tuibie. Nikawaambia hadi pahali safe yake ya doi na kuanga. But nikawaambia wasiumize mtu yoyote, wafagie electronics zote na safe waniachie mahali nitachukua. Wakakuja wakatuibia, tukaripoti kesi kwa polisi. But hadi sahi wezi hawajaipatikana. On the other hand, mimi nilichukua hizo dozi kwa safe na zikulanga tu mos.
Okay, guys, I have the craziest friendship experience story time that I just, have been holding for years, and it just came to my attention that this is, happening to more people from these people. So now I'm just okay, it's my time. I'm obviously not going to say names or anything. I'm just going to call them thing 1, thing 2. They're twin sisters. That's pretty much all you need to know to put the pieces together here. But, have you guys been friends with, people that just, lie about, anything and everything? Well, yeah, and now take that, times it by 1,000,000. Think pretends they have cancer level. Yeah. And I'm not going to talk about other people's experiences necessarily, but let's just say they've done things like this before. And there's so many red flags, and honestly, I feel so stupid because I was just trying to see the good in them. They seemed super nice people when I met them, and I just should have known. Anyways, so start off with them lying about random stuff. They graduated early, they went to McGill, and their mom is the head of cancer care, and this and that, all these things that are easy enough to fact check and see that is not true, obviously. But this is where it really happened and became personal and actually affected me emotionally. So we booked a trip to Calgary Stampede. We'd only been friends for probably 2 or 3 months at this point. But we're like, like they're down for things, I'm down for things, like let's book this trip. And there's 5 of us going, so it's me, my friend, them 2, and their friend. And like the hard part about it is because like unless you experienced it personally, like you will never understand this truly. But now that I know other people have experienced it like firsthand, it like makes me feel like I can actually share this and not feel like crazy. So pretty much the very first night that we get to Stampede, one of them is in the room with us, one of them is in a different room getting ready, and the one in the room with us just starts crying and saying how she like pretty much is gonna die, and she has lung cancer and is on a lung transplant list, and that she's been in and out of the hospital for the last like month or something without us knowing. And like, first of all, these girls are the biggest attention seekers ever. If there was actually something happening where they had to go to the hospital, they would be telling everybody and anybody about it. So I already know this isn't true. Plus, if you're on a lung transplant list, you are not at Calgary Stampede drinking and partying. Never mind like smoking or like anything like that. So anyways, I'm not believing it. My friend's not believing it. We're kind of like laughing about it because like, not to be mean or anything, but we're just like, we don't believe you. A little background where how this makes this personal to me. This summer, my grandpa had actually been dying of cancer the entire summer and passed away actually a month after this happened. But yeah, I was watching him die all summer. So like talking about cancer and like making like a lie about it is just something that's so wrong in so many ways, but it was just especially personal to me. And my other grandpa died when I was younger from lung cancer, and we found out he had lung cancer because he collapsed. And so I kind of bring this up. I'm like, girl, like, you don't have lung cancer. You're definitely not on a lung transplant list, because, like, if you actually did, you wouldn't be here, and, like, you wouldn't be able to party, because, like, my grandpa collapsed when he had lung cancer because he couldn't breathe, this, and that. So keep in mind that I did share this story with them. So I couldn't be around them anymore, so I let, like, thing 1 go out alone, and thing 2 stayed with us, and me and my friend were kind of, like, talking to her, like, girl, like, is this for real? Because, like, there's always 2 of them together. We rarely have one of them separate. And she's kind of, like, telling us, like, yeah, she, like, kind of lies a lot, and, like, she is, like, kind of a problem, and she, like, hurts a lot of our friendship. And so her own sister is telling us, like, this girl does lie, like, and I just get dragged into it. And then later that night, we get a call from the friend that went with thing 1, and it was like, guys, you have to come to the staircase right now. There's, like, an emergency. We run into the staircase, and there is thing 1 laid out, passed out, in the stairwell, pretending that she's unconscious. And I asked the friend, like, how much did she have to drink? Because, like, that was, like, where my mind went first, was, like, oh, maybe she drank too much, and this is, like, whatever. But she's like, she didn't really drink much. So I'm like, okay, like, maybe she got roofied or something. So regardless, I was like, we're going to call 911, okay? So I'm like, boop, boop, okay, I'm calling. And then she, like, magically awakens, and it's like, oh, I'm alive. Super dramatic, may I add. And she's like, my lung, like, I need my medicine. And her sister goes and grabs the bronchitis puffer that they had from when they had bronchitis, like, a week earlier, that they were still both having, like, they were both coughing, like, weird, which they were trying to play it off as, like, the lung cancer, but it was because they have bronchitis. Anyways, so then I, like, put all of the pieces together, and I was like, oh my god, she's trying to pretend, like, to pass out to try and make this more believable, that, like, because this is what happened to my grandpa when he found out he had lung cancer. And that's when I was like, these people are evil. Okay, well, safe to say I was not friends with them after that experience, and they kind of apologized after for other things, but not for that specific thing. But yeah, the rest of Stampede was horrible. It was just not good. To this day, it was like the biggest waste of my money and time that I've ever had in my life. But whatever. So I got back home and I wrote out this entire notes thing, which I'm sure I could probably find somewhere still. It had all the receipts of, like, everything, all their lies, everything they've ever said, like, everything. And at the end, because I was like, okay, I honestly think that someone should just tell them these things, because if I was this psychotic and delusional, I would want someone to just tell me. And at the very end, I said, if I hear anything about me come out of your mouths, I will make sure this is, like, spread around. Like, people will hear about this. And the only reason I said that is because every close friend they've ever had in the past, they have spread the craziest, weirdest, like, actually horrible lies about. Like, very controversial, which I'm not going to get into, and, like, that, I respect those people a lot because they really went through it. And obviously all that part of it was taken out if I were to share it with anybody. But whatever, I sent it to them, never heard anything back again. honestly never really saw them again. A week later, I hear, oh, actually, we stopped being friends with her because she just got super jealous of us at Stampede because we're getting all the male attention over her. And I just, like, couldn't help but laugh because I was like, you couldn't have thought of anything else, like, anything, like, maybe believable. So after that, I was like, you know what? Screw it. And I, like, made a private story with a bunch of, like, my close girlfriends. And I was like, here you go, guys. Eat this up. And honestly, it was, like, a PSA to, like, my close friends. Like, do not fall for this trap of a friendship because it's not worth it. Well, last weekend, it's been, like, years. And I'm, like, completely over it now. But these two people came up and they're like, hey, so you're friends with the twins, right? And I was like, I haven't heard this in forever. But I was like, yeah, actually, I was. They're like, well, you wouldn't believe what happened to us. And I was like, baby girl, let me believe you. Whatever you say, I already believe you. And almost word for word, what they did to me, they did to them. Including, like, pretending cancer. Like, I don't think they had it this time, but, like, their mom did or something. Just bizarre. Like, crazy. So, needless to say, we're gonna start, like, a little trauma support group over this because seriously, like, this is nuts. But yeah, if this also happened to you, like, let's all be friends and let's get drinks and talk about this because what the heck. Anyways, peace and love, guys. That's just, like, I can't believe I'm bringing this up after all this time. But, like, I actually just, like, I think it's the funniest thing. They've not learned their lesson at all. So, whatever. Bye.
The reason most couples argue is because you guys are both making your own assumptions about what the other person's thinking, their intentions. Oh, you probably did this because you didn't care about me. I'm gonna be honest, that's very unreasonable. Assuming that your partner has malicious motives to hurt your heart sounds like the perfect formula for you to continue your avoidant behavior, for you to choose to protect yourself, defend yourself, not be a part of this relationship.
Les voy a decir una cosa, estuve a esto de encontrarme con Cristo, estuve a esto de irme al más allá. Modo chisme o storytime. Figurense acontece que eran como las 10 de la noche, eso me acaba de pasar hace nada, yo acabo de llegar para contar esta experiencia cercana con la trucutruc. Yo estaba paseando a mi hijo, a mi bebé, a mi cosita, lo fui a pasear para que lo conociera mi prima porque lo quería ver. Resulta, pasa y acontece que cuando yo me estaba devolviendo para mi casa, yo estaba en un semáforo y estaba en rojo. Miren, no había un alma, no había un peo, no había ni la llorona, estaba ahí, estaba eso solo. Mira, eso parecía el apocalipsis. Bueno, mami, pero yo respeto las señales de tránsito. Yo estaba manejando, claro, yo tengo 19, ya tengo pase, tengo everything. Don't worry. Ey, pelados, yo estaba ahí esperando mi semaforito en rojo y de repente se me pone un carro atrás. Y yo, ay, bueno, hay que tener cuidado porque era una subidita. Entonces, que no se me vaya y el carro para atrás y un tremendo carro, caro, y trucululu, ¿cómo lo pago? Mira, madre, el semáforo se puso en verde. Y yo arranqué normal. Iba bien, iba normal, lento porque estaba solo toda esa vaina. Fíjense y acontece que yo estaba viendo por el retrovisor que el carro blanco no me golpeara. Yo tenía una sensación rara. Ay, madre, de repente yo escucho el pito de una moto. ¡Pi! Uy, ese bendito pito. Yo me odio ese sonidito de la moto. Ay, porque es que me estresa, me desespera. Yo siento que le hice algo mototaxi cuando suena esa vaina. Entonces, claro, yo como les tengo tanta vaina, estoy psicoseada, yo medio frené. Ay, mami, cuando yo medio frené. Ay, Dios mío, yo vi a Cristo. Mira, mami. ¡Hum! Y yo, ay, Dios mío. Había pasado una ambulancia zumba. Mira, se voló todos los semáforos, claro, porque es una ambulancia y te tiene que volar esa vaina. Porque era una emergencia, ¿cierto? Ay, mira, si ese mototaxi no me dice ¡pi! La ambulancia, en vez de ir a recoger a alguien, me hubiera cogido y me hubiera llevado al hospital a mí. Ay, no, santa la barbarita, pero es que esa vaina no se vio. Mira, no tenía ni las luces prendidas. O sea, tenía como el fuego malo, lo tenía como dañado, estaba apenas en rojo. Mira, ¿qué le costaba a esa bendita ambulancia poner wiu, para uno saber? Porque es que, ¿qué tal que yo fuera daltónica y no veo la luz? ¿Qué tal que no las vea? Por lo menos me hubiera avisado. Ay, no, pela, yo siento que viajes tú. Mira, a mí me dio un bajón que me recogió de aquí hasta acá. Y yo, ay, santa la barbarita de Calcota. Ay, no, marica, yo en serio, yo reflexioné mi día. Yo dije, Señor Padre, si eres tú, me has mandado un ángel en mototaxi. Gracias, de ahora en adelante voy a valorar más a los mototaxis. Por mucho que yo peleé con ellos, hoy un mototaxi me salvó la vida. Es que, gente, uno cuando tiene estos acercamientos con la trucu, uno se pone a reflexionar, uno se pone a pensar. Marica, lo que me da rabia es que yo iba a concentrar, sino que esa vaina no tenía esa luz, se prendía y no hizo no hizo nada. Yo cómo iba a saber, eso era una ambulancia fantasma.